If I could go back and start my UI UX design journey from scratch, I would do things completely differently. I made so many mistakes that cost me months of wasted effort, like spending days obsessing over the perfect gradient for a button while never asking if users even needed that button, or creating icon sets that looked amazing but made no sense to actual users. And honestly, I see beginners making these same mistakes every single day. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through exactly how I'd approach learning UI UX design today, sharing my personal experience and what actually gets you hired in 2025. Let me start by sharing how I got into UI UX design and the mistakes that cost me months of progress. I actually entered the design world when I was 9 years old. That's when I opened up Photoshop for the first time in my life. I worked as a freelance graphic designer for many years, but in 2015 I first heard the term UI UX design. That's when I became fascinated by how Apple designed its user interfaces, the way everything just felt so intuitive and seamless. But here is where I made my biggest mistake. I thought UI UX design was just graphic design for screens. I figured since I already knew Photoshop and design principles, I could easily transition. I was so wrong. My first major mistake, I thought design was all about making things look good. I spent my first few months obsessing over color palettes and typography, creating beautiful mockups that had zero research behind them. My second big mistake was learning tools instead of principles. I mastered every design tool out there, Figma, Sketch, Adobe XD, and many more. But I couldn't explain why I made any of my design decisions. When someone asked me, "Why did you put the button there?" I'd say, "Because it looks good," instead of "because user research showed this is where users expect to find it." The biggest mistake though, I completely ignored the business side of design. I had no clue that design decisions could impact conversion rates, user retention, or revenue. I thought my job was just to make things pretty. Now before we dive into the right approach, let's address what everyone's thinking. Is it even worth getting into design in 2025 with AI everywhere? Here's the thing, AI is actually making human designers more valuable, not less. Sure, AI can generate pretty interfaces and decent copy, but what it can't do is understand business problems, conduct user research, or figure out why your users are abandoning their shopping carts, at least for now. The future of UI UX design isn't about making things look pretty. It's about the business side of design. Research, user testing, strategy, and decision making. That's where the real value is, and that's what companies are desperately looking for. Based on my experience and what I see in the industry, here is what you actually need to focus on. Number 1, problem-solving skills over pixel perfection. I used to spend hours perfecting the corner radius of buttons while completely missing the fact that users couldn't figure out how to complete a purchase. Real designers solve problems first, make things pretty second. You need to learn how to identify user pain points, understand business constraints, and create solutions that actually work. Number 2, understanding business impact and metrics. This was my biggest weakness early on. I had no idea how to measure if my designs were successful. Now, I know that good design can increase conversion rates by 200% or improve user retention significantly. You need to learn metrics like conversion rates, bounce rates, task completion rates, etc. More importantly, you need to understand how design decisions directly impact these numbers. Number 3, experience working with real constraints and feedback. Designing in a vacuum is completely different from designing with real constraints, budget limitations, technical constraints, tight deadlines, and stakeholder feedback. You need experience working on real projects with real people giving you real feedback. This teaches you to compromise, iterate, and find creative solutions within limitations. Now that you know what skills to focus on, the next question is, where do you actually learn these skills? Now for learning resources, there are several approaches you can take. You've got free resources like YouTube, which is incredible for learning fundamentals and staying updated with industry trends. Books are crucial for building deep understanding. Don't Make Me Think by Steve Krug is probably the best introduction to usability. It's short, practical, and will change how you think about user interfaces. Beyond free resources, there are various online learning platforms that offer comprehensive courses. Look for courses that include real projects and peer feedback, not just lectures. For structured learning, I've seen students succeed with various bootcamps, but I recently came across TripleTen. It's an online platform that offers flexible, beginner-friendly bootcamps with some of the highest graduation and employment rates in the industry. Their UI/UX design bootcamp specifically caught my attention for several reasons. What really stands out is their business-focused approach. They have an 82% job placement rate within 6 months. They are so confident they offer a money-back guarantee. Programs like TripleTen have completely restructured their UI/UX curriculum around this business-focused approach. Let me actually show you their curriculum. Their curriculum starts with design thinking and research methods before touching any tools, which is exactly the progression that actually works. They spend 18 hours just on UX research methods, then move through user personas, information architecture, and only then get into visual design. It's a foundation-first approach I wish I had followed. Unlike most bootcamps that end when the course does, TripleTen goes further, offering free career consultations and ongoing support to help you land your first tech job. That extra guidance and mentorship can make all the difference when it comes to making smart career moves and confidently stepping into the industry. For practice, platforms like Daily UI give you design challenges, but I'd recommend finding real problems to solve instead. Look at local businesses, nonprofits, or even friends who need design help. Speaking of real projects, this brings me to one of the most crucial aspects of your design journey: building a portfolio that actually gets you hired. Let me be brutally honest about portfolios, because this is where I see the most failures. My first portfolio was a disaster. It was basically a gallery of pretty pictures with no context. I had redesigned existing apps without any research and couldn't explain the business impact of any of my work. After reviewing hundreds of portfolios over the years, these are the most common mistakes I see my students make. Mistake number 1. Showing only final designs without the thinking process. This is what most of my students do initially. They'll showcase these polished final screens but completely skip how they got there. Hiring managers want to see your problem-solving process, your research methods, your iterations and failures. They care more about how you think than how pretty your final designs look. Mistake number 2, creating fictional projects with no real constraints. I see this constantly with my students. They create these elaborate app concepts for problems that don't really exist or markets they know nothing about. Now, it's okay to have one fictional project in your portfolio, but it shouldn't be your entire portfolio. I always push them toward real projects because working with actual budgets, technical limitations, timeline constraints, and stakeholder opinions teaches skills that fictional projects never can. Mistake number 3, focusing on visual appeal over problem solving. Many of my students spend countless hours perfecting gradients and animations while completely ignoring whether their designs actually solve user problems. Mistake number 4, not explaining the business impact or user research. When I review student portfolios, they often can't answer basic questions like, how did you know users wanted this feature? Remember, case studies need to show the research behind decisions and the measurable impact of solutions. So what does a strong portfolio typically include? Your portfolio needs 2 to 3 strong case studies that show your thinking process, not just your visual skills. Each case study should include the problem you solved, your research process, how you define success metrics, your design iterations, and the actual impact. At TripleTen, Sprint 11 is dedicated to building a portfolio. Look at what they cover: fundamentals of a strong portfolio, choosing the right platform, building your personal brand, planning your portfolio structure, and most importantly, crafting your case studies. They teach you how to structure a case study properly, how to tailor it to the role you're applying for, and how to turn your projects into compelling stories that show your problem-solving process. And here's something cool. They also teach you how to use Webflow to build your custom portfolio without any coding. You can create a completely custom, professional portfolio that stands out from the crowd. Here are my top 3 portfolio tips. Number 1. Work on real projects. Even if it's redesigning your local coffee shop's ordering system or helping a friend's small business, real constraints teach you more than fictional projects ever will. Tip number 2, show your research process. Include user interviews, surveys, and competitor analysis. Show that your designs are based on data, not just intuition. Number 3, document your iterations. Don't just show the final design. Show your wireframes, your failed attempts, and how you iterated based on feedback. Once you have a solid portfolio, the next challenge is actually landing interviews and performing well in them. Let me be real with you. The job market for junior designers is competitive right now. I've talked to hiring managers, and here is what they actually want to see. Companies are struggling to find designers who understand the business side. If you can show you understand metrics, can conduct research, and think strategically about design problems, you'll stand out immediately. The key is positioning yourself as a problem solver who uses design as a tool, not just someone who makes things look good. Focus on case studies that show business impact, research skills, and strategic thinking. In design interviews, you'll face behavioral questions about teamwork, technical questions about your process, and portfolio reviews where you walk through your case studies. The key is articulating not just what you designed, but why you made those decisions and how you measured success. Practice explaining your research process, your design iterations, and the business impact of your work. If you're feeling anxious about interviews or the job search process feels overwhelming, you're not alone. This is completely normal. Learning something new and transitioning into a new career is genuinely challenging, especially in today's competitive market. For those who want personalized guidance, career coaching, and the security of a money-back guarantee, programs like TripleTen offer comprehensive support including interview preparation, mock interviews, and career assistance that continues even after you graduate. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. Start today, be patient with the process, and focus on solving real problems. If you want a structured path with personalized support, check out TripleTen's free career consultation. You can use my code Arash for 30% off all their programs and click the link in the description or scan this QR code for a free career consultation. That's it for today's video. If this helped you avoid some common mistakes, smash that like button and subscribe for more career advice. I'll see you in the next one.